Good afternoon, everyone. I just thought I would pop on here for a minute. Um, Back in January, on January 6th, I had a dream of a specific type of military rockets, but I don't really know personally what kind of rocket it was, but I know that it was a very detailed military rocket, and it was being like pointed towards Jerusalem and towards Israel in the dream. And I remember in the dream, though, it was very specific looking, the look of the rocket. Sorry about that. And so um, I figured I'd jump on here and post about it real quick. Just wrote it down on my calendar that I keep next to my bed, that I write everything down, kind of my schedule and stuff that I dream like in the middle of the night and stuff. But I had it on January 6th. I took this picture of this on February 15th, and I had even sent it to a picture of this, the where I wrote it down on the calendar, to a couple of friends of mine too. So I mean, people can verify that I did have this dream um, ahead of time. But anyway, um, today um, Iran has launched uh, missiles and drones towards Israel, and Israel's already they shot down a couple of them, but they've launched over 100 drones, military drones, towards Israel, and they're watching to see if Israel's going to be able to shoot them all down whenever they start coming through. They've already shot down a couple of them in Syria and in Jordan, but they came from Iran, the country of Iran, and it's all over the news right now. Um, let's see what this
in the run-up
they're saying
to Iran executing its threat of revenge. I think that had to happen. The Americans will feel they had to make a strong statement of solidarity given the recent past and given the fracture in relations between Biden and Netanyahu. And that might have been read by some in the Middle East as two countries, two allies, taking divergent paths. And they may have doubted the degree to which the United States would back Israel in the circumstances we're seeing right now. So I think for political and military purposes, Biden had to come up.
Did you see that on the bottom? It says that they fired 2 ballistic missiles at targets inside of Israel already. So I don't know if they've hit yet. We're still watching all this live because this has just been unfolding in about the last hour, about 30 minutes to an hour.
Very strongly and say to Iran, look, you attack Israel, you attack us. It was a threat of retaliation that he would have hoped the Iranians took seriously, both in questioning whether they were going to launch their strike, or perhaps in assessing the degree of strike.
But anyway, I just figured I'd pop on here and kind of give y'all a little update. I'm sure that a lot of Christians right now is watching this and keeping an eye on it, because we got to see, we got to watch these things. Jesus told us to watch. He said to watch and to pray. And this is very significant because Iran plays a lot of part in Bible prophecy. And even Jesus' own words, he said, when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, otherwise surrounded with armies, which this compassed is to encircle or surround. That's what that compassed right there means. So whenever they have getting surrounded by armies, it says, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And it says all things, all of it, the whole enchilada. So we keep watching, because I mean we're just inching closer and closer and closer to all these things being fulfilled, and it's not going to be pretty at all whenever it all starts breaking loose. I mean, we have our blessed hope. We know that we're not appointed to the actual wrath. We'll be out of here before the actual wrath, the wrath of the Lamb and the wrath of God. You know, the wrath of God is whenever He pours out the vials. And then the wrath of the Lamb is the trumpets on it against Israel, the 7 trumpets. But, you know, the church, Jesus Himself said, we're going to go through the birth pains. Up here at the top, He says, take heed that ye not be deceived. He said that so many times about the end times, because deceivement is going to be at an all-time high, and it is right now. We're seeing it so bad right now, the deceivement of people falling away from the old teachings of the Bible, just the basic teachings. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. And it says, He said to them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, famines and pestilence. And that pestilence right here, if you look at the meaning of that pestilence right there in the Greek, it's literally any kind of plague, a disease, figuratively, or a pest. Like it can be like anything. It's basically the word for plague, any kind of plague. And we've been seeing that too. We've had some plagues already hitting us. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. We've been seeing some great signs from heaven. It says, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you, persecute you, delivering you up to synagogues and to prisons, and being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And look how they did with over in the Middle East with all of ISIS, whenever all that rose up and stuff. That was before all of these things happened. We seen ISIS coming out and killing people right and left. It says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts. Do not to meditate before what you say you shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren, kinfolk, and friends, and some of you shall they cause you to be put to death. And you know, that's happening too. You'd be surprised over in the Middle East, you know, like some of these people that Jesus has revealed Himself to them and they've came to Christ, their families, they will put them to death over there if they turn from Muslim to Christianity. It says, and you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And we're starting to see that too. People just hating on Christians. Anybody that even just says the name of Jesus, they hate on them. We're seeing it worse and worse. I mean, whenever our government can't even they ask somebody to come in and do a prayer over one of their Congress meetings, but yet they tell them they can't even say the name Jesus. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, because that just recently happened this year with one of the ministers. But anyway, and then it goes down and it says, be your patient. It says, but there shall not a hair of your head would perish. In your patience possess ye your souls. And then it goes into whenever you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. And it talks about the signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. It just goes on. It gets more and more and more and more down, closer down there and going into the tribulation. So, but anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and give y'all an update on what's going on in the world right now and what's going on with Israel. Israel's our biblical timepiece, especially Jerusalem. We got to keep an eye on it and watch like Jesus commanded us to do. He said not to be deceived, and he told us to watch, and he told us to pray. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off here. I love all of y'all, and I will talk to you again soon. Y'all have a blessed day.